Hi, I'm Paola Ferrante, and I'm excited to be introducing my collection of short fiction, Her Body Among Animals, which is available September 12th from Book Hug Press. Her Body Among Animals is a thematically linked collection of speculative stories that explore how women challenge the boundaries placed on their bodies while living in a world among animals. These stories are fairy tales, where girls involuntarily grow mermaid tails, and men turn into dragons, resembling the creature from the Black Lagoon. They are science fiction, where sentient sex robots rebel against their misogynistic programming, and mothers unplug from the hive mind of the mother, which is everything a perfect mother should know. They are also horror movies, where young women lose themselves in relationships, becoming literal shadows, and new mothers are haunted by the ghosts of postpartum anxiety, just like my own mother was. I'm excited for readers to meet the resilient women and girls in these stories as they tell their truths. Because I've lived with depression for a long time, my biggest hope for this book is that it conveys some hope, that things can change, that we don't have to be stuck in the systems of the past. And this is partially selfish. I wrote the first story of this collection in 2017, and I finished it in 2022, a year after my son was born. And having a new baby during a pandemic, when the world was literally on fire, I had to hold on to the idea that young people, if given the chance to see how the systems of the past aren't working for them, can change things for the better, which my teenage characters in The Silent Grave of Birds and Mermaid Girls eventually learn. I'm going to read an excerpt now from Mermaid Girls. "Look," Roger says in a hushed tone, pointing to the two garden snails that are intertwined on the ground below as our lips break apart. "Isn't that the coolest thing you ever saw?" He tells me that the snotty part that's holding them together is actually a love dart, just like Cupid's arrow. It dawns on me that Roger isn't ready to watch a comet. And worse than that, if we stay together, I am going to miss all the comets, and probably the meteors too. I will end up not knowing when the next solar eclipse is. I will have wildly miscalculated my trajectory by thinking I could study both the stars and the stars in Roger's eyes. That's stupid, I say. That snail doesn't look like Cupid at all. I hadn't understood until now how Mom had traded the vastness of outer space for Dad and us and a house close to the lakefront, which didn't even have a skylight. And even if it's impossible to breathe in both space and underwater, even if I still hate that she left, space is so much bigger than a lake bottom. Roger doesn't say much for the rest of the evening, and we don't find a single freshwater mussel. When I go home feeling lousy, the mirror is still glowing in a lovey-dovey sunset radioactive orange. I look in it, and for the first time, I don't see stars, just the dark. I realize, for some reason, that I'm dreaming about my head buried in the sludgy sand of a riverbed, and I panic, like one of those mollusks about to be crushed by a cichlid. I try to envision Orion's bow, or Scorpio's tail, or Taurus's horns, but I can't seem to dream about any stars, and there is no light at all. All I can see is myself sinking into the riverbed, and then under the water, and then my mother in the lake, and we are all sinking downward, even Dee. I don't want to be submerged. I punch the mirror again and again until it cracks, until there are no more dreams, until I can't see anything but the small slivers of light from the moon, reflected so many times over in every shard. Her Body Among Animals is currently available for pre-order from Book Hug Press and your local independent bookstore, and officially goes on sale September 12th.